We'll start from when we started working, and of course you own Origin Gas, Plumbing and Heating. You cover the central belt of Scotland and provide a full service plumbing and heating services. So we started working with each other in March 2020, where based on the last interview, you came across one of our Facebook ads. You was looking for an internet marketing company and decided to reach out to us. Do you know what revenue approximately you was doing when we started speaking to each other, Steve?
So it's about 250 to 300,000 pounds a year turnover.
Okay. And if I'm right, you had 3 people in the team at the time with Alison in the office?
Correct.
What you liked with us was that we was honest. We did what we said we was going to do, and you felt that you could trust us. So just before we dive into the numbers and the specifics, after 18 months of us working together at this point, have we delivered on everything that we said we would on that initial call 19 months ago?
Yeah, definitely. IT and stuff was never my strong point. I was looking for a really professional, more or less does what it says on the tin type of company. Yourself was very straightforward. On the sales pitchy side, you hear the same thing over and over again. There's just something a bit different about you that I felt as if you could trust, and I was willing to take the leap of faith into the whole IT world and website and stuff. For the user's perspective, when you go on our website, it's really well laid out. It's we could never have done that without We Build Trades. Really needed someone like yourself and your team behind you, and that infrastructure to basically get us to where we wanted to be. This year round has been really successful, and the growth has been unparalleled to previous years. I just feel as if we needed you guys there to help bolster that, and albeit we work very hard, but so do you, and that's what we needed. We needed a company that was willing to work as hard as we do, and we work extremely hard at what getting to where we are now, and you guys have matched that, which it just blows my mind. We Build Trade, would never have thought in a million years that you would have been. I know you've got a lot of workload, but you're always on the phone. If I need you, you can get you on WhatsApp, email. If I need to have Zoom calls or whatever, you're always there. You're always available. It's the same as every busy person. As long as you've obviously got your schedule down to a T. Because I've never had one time that I've never tried to contact you and you've never been there. Whatever I feel about it, and if there's any changes I would like to make, but that very rarely happens when I have a look at something that you send me back and I think, do you know what, that needs a bit changing. 9 times out of 10 I look at it and I think, Jesus, I could never do that myself. So I'm really happy, obviously, with the way it's all turned out, and it's been a real good journey, and a very big learning curve for me. You've been able to show me the way, which has been great.
No, I appreciate that, Steve, and it's been incredible partnering with you and seeing your kind of growth. And I want to dive into that a bit now, because the numbers that we was just discussing are really incredible. And if we just go from a kind of before and after kind of snapshot of where we're at with the business. So before, 250 to 300,000 pound in revenue. What are you expecting to do next year, Steve?
Looking to be very close in and around the kind of £800,000 mark for turnover this year, which has been a massive growth, but also our team has grew exponentially. We have lots more engineers, lots more vans on the road. So having that growth has been great. The figures that are coming in monthly is far and beyond more than what we were doing previously. But also the feedback, but definitely, I don't want to grow too quickly. I want to keep the quality. I'm looking for more of a slow grow and build the team properly with quality tradesmen, and not let things get out of hand. And I feel as if it's a great thing. It's a great place to be. I have the option to let it go a wee bit and grow a bit more when I'm ready to, but I'm learning all the time. and a lot of that's came from rebuild trades.
Yeah, I think the foundations and being patient, knowing that the goal is long term, to build an organisation, not to make £1 million tomorrow, but to build the foundation so that when you do make £1 million, it's not stressful. It's actually more easier than it was at the beginning. I think you're doing a great job with that, and that's of course what we try and do within We Build Trades as well. So we've looked at the revenue difference. Now, at the start, 3 people in the team, 1 person in the office. How many vans do you have on the road now, Steve? How many people do you have working within the business?
There's 7 engineers, 7 vans on the road, and 2 office staff.
Excellent. And we've just come off the back of doing a campaign for you. We've done several campaigns throughout our time working together. There's different stages of marketing a business, and I try and categorize it in 3 different stages. The first stage is we need to build the machine. We need to build the marketing mechanism. The second stage is we need to test it. Marketing without data is like driving with your eyes closed, and obviously that's not a smart thing to do. So once we've tested the machine, the third stage then is to improve and maintain it. So we spent the first 3 months building the machine. We then done a 10-day test. 18 months from there, we've been working together very closely, building and maintaining this machine. So before we do go into the numbers of this campaign that we've just done, could you just touch on the Commusoft side of things and how your business changed internally once you had the systems and software set up that could help you grow?
Before we had anything, it was paper and pen and text messages to whoever was going to whatever job, soaking up so much of my time, having to run back and forth to the van, check the paper diary, what jobs were coming up and what was booked in, and having to text. Now this is only doing it with 2 other men. This isn't even a lot of men. Soaking up so much of my time to the point where, that's all I was doing was basically managing 2 other men. Couldn't have done it with any more. That would have been my full day. Would have just been sending out text messages of addresses, descriptions of what you're doing. A headache, an absolute headache. I'd obviously got the idea from to run software from the WhatsApp group chat from Rebuild Trades. From there, I obviously implemented it, which took a few weeks to get used to it. After that, I really recognised very little time you take per day, booking days and days in advance. And all the engineers wake up in the morning, they log in, and all their jobs are there laid out for them in time slots. It has a description, it has customer contact details, addresses, even notes from stuff that maybe I would put in notes for maybe some materials that would be best to be taken to the job. From there, in the mornings, everyone would come to the office and they would just leave. And sometimes I don't even hear from them through the full day. From the trackers and all that we've got in all the vehicles, that's all, it's all combined into Commusoft. I'm able to see where they are, what they've done up till now, just by, the click of a button. Freed up never-ending amounts of time for me, which really gave me right from the off, gave me so much more time to deal with the business, working on the business, trying to grow the business, putting things in place. That's the difference. I'm not taking on, I'm challenging myself every day, and it's very, very scary, like taking on more men and more work and making sure the quality's there. But I feel as if I've done it the right way, and I feel as if the business is very sustainable. I'm not bringing in more men and hope that I'm going to have enough work to keep them going. I've got work coming out my ears, and it's We Build Trades brings the quality of work you know, we're able to advertise for specific work when I feel as if, you know, we're maybe not getting enough heating systems or boilers. We run the ads. I'm so much more prepared for it now. The first few times we ran ads, it was like, oh, what should I be doing? You know, oh my God, this is so new. You know, we've done it a few times now. I'm in the groove with it. You know, I have my own system set up of how to get it into the diary and working it into my daily routine. You know, visiting the jobs, and you know, the quality of work has went up. The volume of boilers obviously has went up. You know, the figures speak for themselves. For October, running the ads for a full month, never had done any of that, not being IT minded. I would have been left in the dark, you know, with all these other companies pushing forward. But the thing is, we've got the edge, so we've got Webuild Trades.
Well, let's talk about that, Steve, because this is what we wanted to capture, because it is an incredible kind of transition. So for the month of October, we ran a boiler campaign. Could you walk through the amount of surveys you did and how many jobs you got from those surveys, first of all?
Okay, so in the month of October, we carried out 20 site surveys, all completed, and estimates all sent out. 9 of those jobs returned with an acceptance. We booked the jobs in the month of October, which gave us a total of £16,406, minus the £1,150.30 that was spent on ads. Gave us a total of pure profit of £15,255.70, just from boiler ads, which that kind of speaks for itself.
So incredible numbers, and obviously we can still scale that up. So the next question, Steve, in total, what was the total revenue figure for October?
£86,000, round about that mark.
So that's interesting, because if we were, and I've got no doubt in my mind that we're moving towards that, but that monthly figure over a 12-month period would mean that you are at a 7-figure business when we are able to maintain that. So 5x the business from where we was at the beginning. We've obviously built the infrastructure to support that. So what was the biggest challenge you felt kind of making that transition?
So there's many speed bumps along the way, and many things to get over. The fact that I wasn't a very big IT guy never really came to mind that it was even remotely important within the business. Turns out it is massively important. Obviously getting used to software, you know, and running engineer software was very difficult at the start, you know, but we needed Webuild Trades to help get the word out there that we were good enough, and that we were worthy of people to have us in their homes. You know, we want to do a good job, and we always will, with the best will and the best intentions. We wanted to do well. But, you know, sometimes, you know, all the time, you need that helping hand to getting the word out there. You can't do that alone. A few years back, obviously Webuild Trades has been there from the start of the boom of the company. Now I'm in the position where I can focus on growing the business and work when I want to, not because I have to.
What a strong position to be in. And you again hit a really important point there, Steve, that I picked up on, where the skill set, and I speak to hundreds of tradespeople every month. Now, what I've found in my experience, and you just kind of hit this on the head, is that the skills and the mindset that you need to go from zero to say £100,000, for example, is completely different to what it's going to take to go from 100 grand to $1 million.
Yeah.
Because in order to go to the 0 to 100, it is all down to you. But then to go from the 100 to the million, you have to actually reverse and let go of control. And you have to build a justice league around you, as I like to say, rather than trying to be Superman, and have the right people in the right places who can handle their area of expertise. Yes, it means that you're not going to make as much profit because you've got extra labor overheads.
Yep.
But the extra revenue that you can bring in is far going to exceed the minuscule profit margins you'd gain by just doing it yourself.
Yeah.
So in terms of building that Justice League and having the people in the right place, how important is it been for you not to do everything yourself and actually have the team in place to assist you on your growth?
It's massively important to have good people, strong-willed people around about you. Obviously, there's got to be one person bears the burden on his shoulders of the direction of the company, and you need to have people around about you that trust you, and what you're doing is right and it's good, and get good work, highly profitable work, very quickly. Gives you the confidence to make positive steps in the business. Getting another engineer and another and another and another. You can't do that, without knowing that there's work there and that it's good, profitable work that will last. It's not as if you guys, the Rebuild Trades, come in. Massive changes to my outlook. It's been great. We're never short of work, but good work. And obviously that proves it in the month of October because of the infrastructure we have with Rebuild Trades and the website, and it's so fluent and works so well. Customers don't have any problems with paying for the invoices anymore. Some of them don't have the ability to bank transfer. They can go on the website, can pay by card on a secure payment system through our website. It's unreal the changes that have happened over the past couple of years.
How long was you in business before we started working together?
So I ran a business with a previous partner for 12 years prior to starting Origin. And Origin's been going for 2.5 years, 3 years. So, never ever reached the stage or the point where I could even come off the tools or even think about coming off the tools. And that's probably all stems from one leap of faith, just one time. And it's changed my full outlook on business altogether. And now I'm at a point now after running a business for 14.5 years. Now I'm just getting to the stage where I can work if I want to.
It's actually mind-blowing, that is, Steve. I've never thought about it like that, because you just scrolling through Facebook one evening, seeing an ad and having that one choice, do I click or do I not? And by you clicking, 14.5 years, it just took you on a different trajectory. And now we're having a conversation where we're talking about doing 7 figures. You've got a team that's got 7 engineers, 2 office staff, got a marketing machine that you can turn on and generate £21,000 of revenue in a month. If you never turned that on, you could have just kept on going and still generated 60 grand's worth of revenue. And that all came from one decision, one little decision. So that's just blew my mind thinking about it from that perspective.
As it, and it blows my mind, and I'm very, very happy, in the trajectory that I'm on now. And God knows where I'll be in 5 years.
Ross, I want to actually show you this. I brought this up before the call because I wanted to just show you. So, of course, we was working together from March 2020. So how has your experience been working with us on the diamond package, Steve? And
it's been amazing, like constant updates on how we're doing, patiently waiting on the monthly review coming through to see how far we've came up this time. you know, and it has been a constant leapfrog forward. You know, there is a lot of plumbing companies out there. You know, that's the kind of numbers.
But when you've got a strategy and you've got the right people executing that strategy, it results in results.
That's
and
exactly it.
What you've just kind of hit on there is, like, anyone could boost a Facebook ad now and get in front of thousands and thousands of people, but unless you've got the full sales process metrics, like how many people have we reached, how many people clicked, how many become leads, how many surveys did we do, how many jobs did we do, what was the revenue on the jobs, what was the cost of materials, labor cost, profit, etc., then the amount of people you reach is irrelevant really, unless you've got those things. So how have you tackled the recruitment side of things and built your team to deal with this new gained exposure?
So recruitment's always tricky in the building trade. Finding good guys that are willing to work the hours and putting that wee extra bit of effort, to make our company stand out. I've always found that bringing them through as apprentices has always worked for me. Teaching them the right way, etc. Making sure they're going to be tidy and clean and how to deal with the customers, properly is key. But even we've had loads of phone calls. People just going on our website. They've seen us marketing for boilers or whatever. They went on and our website speaks for itself. We don't look like we are not. In the grand scale of things, we are a small company, but we're not that small. We're not a one-man band. And you can tell that from the website. It's been great for recruitment, and we can turn on ads for that as well.
Yeah.
And at the drop of a hat, the ads were way back. It's actually quite a bit back. We turned on ads for recruitment. Must have had about 35 people through the door. And out of those 35 people, we only selected one guy that had actually started working with us now. But it kind of shows the amount of not so great tradesmen out there. So you really need to look professional and have a good strategy in place to get the right men, because it's very, very difficult. And the men I've got here, I'm privileged to have these guys work with me, not for me, with me.
Well, it's interesting because a lot of business owners think a website is solely for getting customers. But what we've found in our experience, as you've just pointed out, Steve, is it's also a recruitment tool. Because if I'm looking to go and work for someone, I'm obviously going to do my due diligence on that company. And what I see online is going to influence whether I want to work there and dedicate my time to that company or not. And because you've built this reputation and you've got this professional image, it puts you in a more powerful position, not just with quality customers, but you can have 35 people apply to work for your business and have the power to only pick one of them who meets your strict criteria. And then of course that means that your business is going to be much more stronger than a lot of your competitors because you've got the right people working with you. Yeah. I think in essence, Steve, and I appreciate your time for this because I know how extremely busy you are. Fortunately, we've both got great teams behind us, so we can spend the time doing these types of things. Yeah. And it hasn't been easy to get to this point, but what I really want the kind of moral of the story to be here is it takes an incredible amount of hard work to do what you've done, and I take my hat off to you. I'm in the same position with my business. We're in different niches, but we're on the same journey. Yeah. And coming together has been incredible because, to be completely honest, my skill set and what we do as a business would be completely irrelevant unless we found people like you who we could do these things for. So I suppose final closing words, and you've already done a great job of this, but for anyone who is watching this, who is kind of umming and ahhing and they don't know whether the investment would be a worthwhile investment, yeah, what would your advice to that person be, Steve?
Parting with some of your hard-earned cash, which probably feels as if you have been burnt in the past, it feels as if it's a gamble. What I can tell you, without a shadow of a doubt, is from the moment I scrolled on the phone and I taken a leap of faith, it was me that taken the gamble. I taken the gamble because I didn't know any background. I'm telling you now, it's not a gamble. You will part with some hard-earned cash just now, but the figures that I've just shown from last month, from all the infrastructure and all the help and all the backing from Dan and the team, it's not a gamble. You're basically parting with some money just now to make a shed load of it later. That's more or less it. You know, you want to grow your business, you want to do well, and you want to stand head and shoulders above the rest. Dan and his team will make sure that happens. I promise you that.
Steve, I really appreciate that. And as I said, and I keep saying, it has been a pleasure working with you, and I'm really looking forward to what the future is going to bring. Because again, in a way, this is just the start, because we're now on the next phase in business, which is a never-ending journey for the goals and the visions that we've both got.
Yeah.
So once again, Steve, massively appreciate your time. Appreciate you sharing your experience in business. I know it's going to be valuable to anyone watching, and we'll have to come back next year and report on the progress from today.